And watch, if someone does, they're like, oh, those women are crazy again.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, my mess over here. Is that the right filter?
Must be nice. I don't think there's any more.
That's weird.
The products at the very end. This one.
Hi.
Hi. We're live,
We're just getting all of our other,
but we're gonna no longer be doing this.
yeah, today's our last day, and then they'll only be using this channel. Super excited. Hey. Oh, they said hi back.
Oh, they did?
Yep. See? Hey.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Welcome.
We just were saying nobody ever watches.
Yeah,
this
so we were taking our time over here. How weird.
So weird.
We're having difficulties with all of our technology.
There we go. Just gonna turn this up a little or down. Slow and steady wins the race. All right.
Sorry, my stuff is going super slow. Hence
Sorry, I
last.
don't mean to
No,
keep
you're fine. Last day. Done. Start.
All right. Slide it in.
Slide it in. Hello, world.
All right.
Slide it in.
That's okay.
Okay.
We can fix it. Hi.
I'll just put it up there.
There you go.
Okay. Hello, world.
Hello.
Welcome to Energized.
Motherhood.
We're excited. New location.
New location. Actually,
We're
this
always
is
moving.
it's shocking. Sleeping baby. And sleeping baby. So we actually are in my. This is kind of where I come for therapy.
Yep.
This is like my therapy land. So welcome to, if you follow me, you know my spot.
So
If
her
you
spot.
follow Andrea, welcome to my spot.
Welcome to
my
Kimberly's
garage.
spot. We all have a spot. We're going to talk about that today. But we should tell them from here on out what's going to happen. Do you want to show that?
Okay, so we're really excited. We've decided that we are no longer going to be coming live. We are going to be just going on to YouTube, and therefore we'll be getting one step closer to creating a podcast, because really you don't need to be live. We need the videos. So going forward, we will be sharing when we do these videos, but if you, once we create the YouTube channel, we will share it, and you can follow it, and you can share it with your friends, and you can tell everybody, and away we go.
Away we go. So
Welcome to our last live Energized Motherhood podcast. That's a lie. Let's be bold.
No.
Oh, you added them.
Did it work?
I think so. Yep. Welcome to our last live Energized Motherhood video, and then make sure you do the subscribing thing.
Woo-hoo.
Subscribe.
We would love for you to do that.
But that being said, we thought it would be a really great topic today to talk about the energy. Where does energized motherhood come from? Because it's a big part of both of our stories. Because to say we are tired, we're tired. We're tired moms.
We're still in our gym clothes, so that tells you.
You say we're still in our jammies. We're still in our jammies.
We're still in our jammies.
Actually, I kind of am. I'm pretty much in my jammies. Nobody needs to know.
No.
I put makeup on after working out without washing my face. Don't judge me or think that I'm gross.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Momming is hard.
You got to do what you got to do. That's my philosophy.
Ain't that the truth? But that is why we have found energy. We have found what gives us life so that we can then create life, take care of life.
Yes.
Not create it. We're done that.
Done that.
That's over.
No more creating life.
No more creating life.
It's fine.
But
Wanted to share why we get asked a lot, like, you have so much energy and you have children and you work. How do you do it? Like, what is giving you so much life? And so we both thought, well, why don't we talk about where it comes from?
Because truthfully, we both, I would say a lot of it came together. We found our energy before we had, before we started. I guess I'm trying to think. A couple years ago, we had energy, but we didn't. It was different. It was definitely definitent kind of energy. So here's younger. So here's a couple things that I think are your recipe for success. Number one, realizing that taking care of yourself is actually going to give you energy in life. And by taking care of yourself, we're just going to break that down, what that looks like, and then a couple other ways that we find energy also. So do you want to start? If you want to start by sharing a couple, I would say we both would go back to our morning routines are the essence of what gives us energy, even though it means we're getting out of bed earlier.
Yes. So we do get up early. That is essential why this all works for us. But you have to also that has to be a personal decision that you do want to do that. And it means you also go to bed a little bit earlier. And so it's not like it happened overnight. No. I was just like, oh, I'm this person now. It has taken a lot of work to do it. And so for me, I was working a full-time job and raising these small humans alongside my husband, who he was actually the one that kind of shared the example. He was already doing it, getting up early, going to the gym, and being back in time before our children woke up. And he was constantly encouraging that for me to have an outlet, because I didn't have an outlet and I was so sluggish.
Burnt out. You're burnt. It's
burnt.
The mundane is hard unless you find the joy in it.
So. Yeah. And then what I was feeding my body too. I would work all day on Sunday. I was in ministry. I'd have 4 venti coffees. It was bad.
And probably some soda.
I was addicted to Coca-Cola. Got to clarify that. Coca-Cola. Because the other day I was like, I've been clean for 2 years. That didn't sound right. I'm like, from Coca-Cola. Mine was 2 years ago. I got really sick at an event. I remember it. I ended up in the hospital. I had no voice, and it was due to I was running 100 miles per hour, not taking care of myself, staying up late, getting up at the crack of dawn to not even do what I'm doing now, just to get myself and my kids out the door and to work. Had nothing to do with my self-care at all. It was just me surviving.
There really wasn't any self-care.
No, there was no caring of me whatsoever. And I just remember my friend having to take me to the hospital because I could not breathe. And I remember they wanted to transport me, and I was like, can she drive me? Because I was just so embarrassed. And when I got there, the doctor asked, what's your caffeine intake? And I was so embarrassed to say, because I knew, awkward, that, and in my diet, he was like, what have you eaten? And tell me what you've eaten this weekend. And it was so embarrassing for me to say, well, I went to this fast food place. I had all this caffeine from Starbucks. Oh, by the way, that day, that was my 4th intake, and it was only 12 o'clock in p.m., but I had been up since 3 a.m. to work. And he sat me down and was just like, you need to get healthy. You need to get on a healthy food eating schedule. You need to cut the caffeine down, and you need to take out the soda. Because when we added the soda and on top of the coffee, it was so much. It was just so much. Yeah. And so that was my wake-up call. So then I remember calling Kim and then saying, I'm quitting caffeine. Today is my first day. And then having to just really watch making sure I ate.
Yes.
And she was like, hey, you need to be on like a time nutrition where you're feeding yourself this at this time, this. And I had to pack for it. And I'll be honest, it was a lot of brain training for me, because I would lean towards, well, I'll just go to Taco Bell, or I'll just go to this because I'm skinny and I can't. And my doctor said to me, like, no, you can't, because you're skinny, but all you're carrying is actual fat. Like,
Right.
It's not good fat. It's bad fat. And so between Kim and my husband, it was just them pushing me to just get my act together. So I remember Kim saying, what time do you want to get up? And I said, well, realistically, I'm going to have to get up at 4 to do all these things. So mine is getting up at 4, doing my Devo and my prayer time. That's very important for me. And then I push play, and I had the choice of going to the gym with my husband. We were deciding if he would go first or I would go, or doing something at home. And I knew Kim did something at home, so I approached her about, like, what does that look like for me? And it was more realistic for my life, that, like, I need to be home so that if a kid woke up, it worked. So my husband actually goes to the gym. That's his piece. That's his therapy. And I stay home, and mine has been created in my living room. Mine's not the garage yet. Mine's my living room. Is my sanctuary, where I have actually set up, my husband bought me a really cute chair, and I have a chair where it has all my books, and that's my spot for the morning, and then I can transfer over to my workout time. But that's how I start my day, and then my food plays into it for the rest of the day. Yeah. On top of that, I have this wonderful mom juice in the morning. You call yours pixie dust, mine's called mom juice.
It's the same
thing. We just have different things. I have that now, and just 1 cup of coffee.
Right.
So, right. And I'm still full of life.
Yeah, and it's. I think that, yes, we are still, drinking something that does have energy. The difference is it's a plant-based, and it's coming from all natural ingredients. There's nothing harsh, or there's no chemicals, and we're not adding a pile of sugar.
Yeah.
And I think that you and I both agree we're not coffee drinkers who just down the black stuff.
Yeah,
we're downing the black stuff with
sugar.
All the sugar. So I think that coffee had to be realistically looked at, because I think we excuse it, and I'm not saying don't drink it, because Lord knows it's an enjoyment.
Yep.
Like, when we sit down, we might go out for coffee together, but it's more about the social than it is about the needing the fix of coffee. But I think that for me, like, people ask all the time, like, well, you just must be a morning person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I used to be the person who, I have to sneeze. No, I know.
See, and I am a morning person, but it wasn't, none of that mattered to me. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I was, like, so fixated on surviving with my kids I gotta get my kids were the concern.
Right.
Not me. I was never the concern.
Right. Well, and it almost felt selfish to be the concern.
Yes. Then I was grumpy all the time.
Oh yeah.
So grumpy.
Because then you're getting to know you.
Yeah. And I was so annoyed. I get annoyed quicker with them because I was so tired.
Right. Yeah, and you have to, by you taking care of you, you ultimately become a healthier version of mom, wife, sister, worker, all the things, right? And so, but you have to evaluate that. And I think that's the hardest part, is that you feel like, oh, well, I can't take that time for myself, or I can't ask my husband, like, hey, can you watch your kids? FYI, that should never be something. They're his kids too. Yeah. That's a different statement for a different day. But working together to say, listen, I want to be the best version of myself, and that means that I need this time. I need an hour, or whatever it is. The nice part is that a workout doesn't have to be this, like, hour-long experience. Nope. And when you get to the gym, guess what? It's becoming an hour-long experience, because you got to get there, you got to change, you got to find the machines, you got to do all the things, which is why we both, I think, have found freedom in the fact that we can just push play in our garage or in our living room quickly, fast. It's over. You're moving on. You're not wondering when
a kid comes out, they can
join, which is what all my kids do. And so I think that you really have to evaluate what you want to get done in that time.
And decide that you want it.
Well, and decide, like, for me, I needed energy. Like, there was no way on earth I was going to keep up with 4 kids. Mm-hmm. And right now it's a struggle. I mean, we're not sleeping through the night. Yeah. We're not, sometimes he's up 1 time, sometimes he's up 5 times.
TV, there's so many things changing about him right now.
And so, but I have to decide ultimately, okay, as much as I could do this, guess who's going to take the brunt of the hard stuff? My other kids. Oh. And so even though he's just this little guy, I have to still be my best for them. And so my morning routine never changes. And it never changes any days of the week. I'm always up.
Yep.
I'm always drinking, I start my day with 20 ounces of lemon water. It flushes my system. It gets my digestive system going. It does all the things that I need it to do so that I can start moving as a person, and then of course, fueling with it. So my meal plan, my food that I take in all day is all giving back to me in energy. There's nothing harsh. There's nothing, carbs are not, I'm not eating a ton of heavy carbs that are taking my energy versus giving me energy. And so you've got to figure out what works.
And it takes time, guys. Like Kim's been doing this a lot longer than I have. And I remember in Bible study, you had your stuff out, and she was feeding her body healthy, and she was trying to get me to do it with her, and I'm over here with my pizza. And I'm like, I remember, and I was like, you have fun over there. I'm gonna keep eating my pizza and enjoy life, was what I said to her. But she was never getting sick. I was always getting sick, and not sick like cold sick, like lost my voice, got bronchitis, got pneumonia. I was getting legit sick. And it was my body trying to tell me, get your act together and get healthy.
See, I think we miss our body telling us stuff. We think like, oh, we have sickness because
my kid got
sick, so now I'm sick. Oh, well, your body is 100% telling you what is missing in your life. And I hate even saying this out loud because I feel like I'm waiting for this, but I don't believe in that. So I have to remind myself, I don't believe that. I've been sick in 4 years. Like I have not shown up for 4 years because that has never taken me down. And I truly believe it's that we drink the superfood shake every day that is full of vitamins and minerals and prebiotics and probiotics and adaptogens and immunity support and
mood enhancement.
It gives us life. And so we are now fueling our bodies with things that give us energy, because ultimately you will do more with your day the more energy you consume.
I can actually tell the difference when I don't have, we call it superfood. When I don't have that, my attitude completely changes. Oh yeah. And for me, I need it for that reason. Mm-hmm. But I notice like I'm a little bit more sluggish when I don't have it because I'm lacking all that nutrition that my body has been so used to. But it's like, I get it. Like for me, like she had to really twist my arm. Like I was like, I'm fine, leave me alone. Like I'm tiny. I don't need to worry about my health. But ever since I have said yes to her and then like, help me figure this out, like help me feel better in my own skin, I am a totally different person. My mom the other day said that I've always been super tiny. That has been me. My mom said that she saw a picture of me before I moved to California, and my back would completely in. And I had just had Costin. He was 6 months old when we moved here. Yeah. And she was like, you were so unhealthy skinny. And it wasn't that I wasn't eating. I was eating. I was eating crap. You were eating crap. Yeah. And so that was the difference. And she goes, and I look at you now and you look so strong and healthy. And I went home this past week to see family. And that was probably the number one comment I got was like, Andrea, like you looking, it wasn't that, Andrea, you were tiny. It was like, Andrea, you look good. Like you look like you got muscle, girl. And I was like, yeah. Like, and to me, that was super encouraging to hear.
Well, because you're small your whole life.
Yeah. I want to look healthy. I don't want people to look at me and ask me, do you eat? Like, oh, that hurts me.
Because then your rebuttal, it's like back in the day when you'd be like, oh yeah, I just had a Big Mac. Then it's even more frustrating for people who are trying to lose weight. But there's always an other side. Yeah. There's always another side.
We're so different sides. I'm the one that is like, had a baby and I lost it when I left the hospital.
Right. Versus I'm still living in the land of I still haven't lost it. But that's just that's the reality. The reality is, but we're not working towards a size. We're not working towards a number on the scale. We're not working towards any of that. We're working on being the best versions of ourselves, the healthiest versions of ourselves, the example of ourselves. I love the question when my kids ask like, well, Mom, can I have that? Is that good for me? Mm-hmm. That is, I mean, like, yes, kid, like, please ask me that question every single day because they want it. They see that we're not stepping on scale. I mean, we do step on scales because it's just a number. It's just a measurement tool, but we're not looking at ourselves and going, what am I going to wear? I hate this. Oh, I look fat, or I look this, or, oh, I look these things. Well, our kids are never going to hear that from us. They're only going to hear that we're just living the best life we can. And the truth is, energy is going to give you that fuel to be that in every way. And so I think we think of energy as this like made up thing that people have to like manifest. And the truth is, the more you just take care of yourself, the more you're gonna get it, and your body and your people and everybody is going to benefit from you taking care of you.
It's totally true.
Yeah.
I remember on Sunday I was working out, and it was a hard workout, and I had never done it. And my kids joined me. Like, they heard me telling my husband, "Hey, I'm going to do this workout. Do you want to do it with me? Because I need the motivation. It's going to be hard." And he was like, it's my day off. Why? And my kids, they're 8. He'll be 8 this month, and 5 go, "Mom, we'll come with you." And I'm like, okay, like not knowing what it was. They stayed with me the whole 30 minutes doing their version, which I thought was so adorable. But when I was huffing and puffing, my oldest goes, "Mom, I'm so proud of you. Like, you're doing what she's doing in the show. Like, I'm proud of you. Keep going." And I thought to myself in that moment, if me doing this is just to show them that I'm taking care of myself, I won.
Yeah.
I won. I did it. And that's all that matters, is that they see that Mom took care of herself first so that she could be even more loving, more everything else that they need.
Well, and I think, we obviously do this as a career. We share our experience, our story on social media so that we can hope to inspire others to do the same. And I think that that's another question that like, "Mom, what do you do? Like, what are all those people like? Oh, I see you. What's this?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to encourage other people to do the same thing as I'm doing, because I know it works, and I know it's effective, and I know it's going to help them in the long run." And I said, just like you can be that light to somebody else, kindness. And it's all for them. It just looks different in different ways. And so, again, life-giving, energy-giving. And so I think having a purpose that you are living towards, having, that drive and that why power that gets you out of bed every morning, those are the tools that you need that are going to help you succeed and give you energy to do all those things. And, a book or a podcast or YouTube video to read or to listen to, Mel Robbins does a phenomenal just getting you to understand more about yourself, and then she teaches you kind of the idea of how to get up in the morning. I definitely recommend listening to it. It's called The 5-Second Rule, and I know for me it's changed my life, even though I had to become a morning person by and it wasn't, I wake up at 4 now, but that's not my reality is that if that alarm had to be set at, I think I used to, if it was like 6:30 or earlier, I had straight up anxiety the entire night going into that night. I had the worst sleep because I was so afraid of not missing it. And I always was so tired, and I was so afraid of being tired, which is so bizarre and so funny to me now. I'm like, really?
Where now it's like, we have our whole day figured out, that we now know when we don't get certain things in, it kind of sets the tone. Yeah. It doesn't we don't have that life that you normally want. But I think like you said, it's got to be a decision. Like, you have to decide, do I want to be a better version of myself? Like, Kim had to decide that. I had to decide that. And then once you decide that, find that person to do it with, that will always cheer you on. And even we bounce off schedules, and other friends that do it with us will bounce off schedules. Like, I've been struggling getting up at 4, and I text my new group, and I was like, I need to get up at 4 again. Like, this isn't working. And guess what? Got a text this morning from a mom who has twins, who's like, Are you up? And it made me get up. And I was like, thank you.
Surrounding yourself with people with the same like-minded vision and energy, and it's only going to help you more. And it gives you energy. And it gives you energy. Sure, does it sound rad to like sleep in and do all the things? But I just know that's not it's not my reality, and not my best yes right now in my
Mhm.
life. Maybe once all these kids are out of the
Out the
house,
door.
or
It
you
will
know,
be.
but maybe I'll still get up, but then
Yeah.
I'll just take long naps in the
Naps.
day.
Yeah.
And
We don't know.
We
But
don't
right
know.
now, that's our reality.
right now I want the most hours I can get out of this day.
Yeah.
And I am grateful for all these tools that we have
Mhm.
that have given us the energy to really live well. So
if you need a first step, your first step is to write your why. Like, why do you want to have a better
be a better version of yourself. And we
version
call
of
it the why
yourself.
power.
And then go from there. And then if you need help with figuring out your morning routine, you got two gals that just
We will help you.
love schedules. But yeah,
Yeah.
but that's all
That
I
is
got
it from
for you.
us. Yes.
To a party.
Okay. Yeah. We were going to keep it short today. So stay tuned for our YouTube channel. And we just appreciate you guys. We know we're going to get this up and operating.
We're excited.
We're excited. And
I mean, we have a designer. We just got to get it going.
you know, she's married to him.
I'm married to him.
So he's got to do the things. But we will be back in action and bringing you more, and just keep encouraging us with what you want to hear about, so that we
Please.
can share.
That helps us.
So
yeah.
have a great
Tuesday. All right.
See you later.
Bye.
Ooh,
sorry.
Got it. Oh wait, YouTube's not.
Sorry, YouTube.